104, we got one.
One-on-one, do you have the same one that 690 has at 890?
This department is truly about relationships and commitment of the people that you work with to support each other. They've invested a lot in each officer, not just the required training, but when there's an opportunity, they're always sending officers to different training experiences. They care about our health and fitness. So our Human Resources Department really gets behind encouraging us to stay fit and providing opportunities to reward that. We put together very solid cases. I've heard a lot of positive feedback from our county officials that they always like to see Lewisville cases, and I take a lot of pride in that. So,
when you get to the calls, you're thinking that you're going to go there and you're going to, fight and chase people and all that, and you realize that that's not the most important part of your job. 99% of our jobs is actually talking to people, and they're going through the exact same problems that we are going through, or some of our family members are going through. The department really looks into what we call community policing. You're not out there just to hammer people and put them in jail. You're out there to actually assist them in some of their decision making. You're training somebody to do a job, you're training them to turn the wrench, pick up the hammer. If you mentor them, you're actually teaching them to lead. You're teaching them to take your place. It's satisfying to me to see people grow and take over the reins. It's kind of hard to let the reins go, but when you mentor them, you can trust them, and that's very, very, very important.
People think, oh, you work with a dog. No, we work together. Our relationship's based on trust, and the idea of working with a dog from day one just really interested me. The dog has a psychological value. One thing that I cannot put a number on is how many people the dog prevents from fighting our officers. Our first line supervisors are always there with us. I saw a lieutenant who's now an assistant chief and a sergeant who's now a lieutenant jump into a dumpster to look for evidence. I was the new guy right out of training, and I should have been the one in there. I'm supposed to be the one in there. That's not how we work. It showed me that it was leadership by example, and it impressed me to no end, because anywhere else I would have been the one in the dumpster, and I fully expected it. We don't have a supervisor come in and say, hey, you guys need to work together as a team. That's a given. We're on call 24/7. Anybody in our department that needs a dog for whatever reason, we'll go. I'll run a dog as long as they'll let me.
What I do is just like you take your car in every year to have a safety inspection put on it, I'm doing a safety inspection roadside on these trucks. The traffic division, we have very little turnover. We're specialized. We're crash investigators. One of our officers is an expert in CDR, which is the black box in your vehicle. We've got 3 guys that are experts in photogrammetry for reconstructing accidents. We're pretty tight-knit. We have 3 or 4 get-togethers a year. We all get off work and hang out together. It's a pretty good time. I would like to think that we're different from other cities in the fact that we have great people, good camaraderie. The department buys new equipment, keeps up with technology. When it comes to these safety programs, they're very passionate and supportive of the programs to keep the citizens of Lewisville safe.
A lot of people they see an officer on a bike and they want to talk to them. They're more approachable. They have little kids, they run across somebody that's nice to them, and that'll remain with them, and hopefully in the future when they get older, maybe they'll become police, or maybe they'll be a supportive citizen. You really want to put somebody in training and invest money and training into that person that you know is going to be able to succeed at this job, because it's not for everybody. You got to have a family that's going to back you in your career here, because without that, you're not going to last long at all. I know of some agencies where people are always fighting amongst themselves. Not only battling the bad guys out here, you're battling your own people at work. But here, everybody seems to mesh.
When people are in need, like a citizen's in need, they call the police for help. When the police need help, they call SWAT. We've been more active than we were 12 years ago when I came on the team. Considerably more active. Society's changing a little bit, and some of the seriousness of crime seems to be increasing. To be able to try out, you have to have at least 2 years of experience on the street. We require a run that you have to do, you have to accomplish an obstacle course. Can you shoot under pressure? Can you shoot, make decisions, being fatigued, tired, and under a lot of stress? We train twice a month, and then we have a week-long training once a year as a team. The department really has always supported the SWAT team. They've allowed us a lot of training time, they've allowed us a lot of equipment, and a lot of our administrators have been SWAT guys, and they understand it. But I think overall, they care about what officers think, they respect their opinions, and I think they listen to what the boots on the ground, what's important to them.
Our designation obviously is to respond to 911 calls and non-emergency calls, so we kind of do a little bit of everything. 12-hour shifts, which I love, because it's 4 days on, 4 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off. It's fun, and the respect you get from the people in the community was pretty awesome. I love when I can help a good person, because you do have a huge impact on somebody's life. When I first started, I got shoved in with the old heads, man, the old crusty dudes, and they took me right under their wing, believe it or not, and they were cool to me, and I'm still friends with most of them, and they're 20 plus years older than I am. You kind of get that camaraderie built over the years because you're working close knit with the same guys, going to the same calls with them, so you kind of establish a real good rapport with them and their families. The city's expanding with public transportation and the highway growing. Plus we got the trains, the DCTA train station just came through. Kind of ensures that we'll be here for a while. We're big enough to have the fun problems, small enough to where everybody gets to joke around and kind of build a family here. This is one job that if you don't genuinely enjoy it, it's probably miserable. But for whatever it is, man, about this particular profession, I just enjoy it. Can't imagine doing anything else.